Hi, and welcome back to Keep Smiling with Larry Rifkin. I'm Larry Rifkin. Today, we're going to talk about a much broader subject. We all ask ourselves, what is life about? It's a deep question, especially those of us that are on a spiritual path or a spiritual journey. We all know that it's more than just coincidence or accidents on why we're here. I think in life, most of us, the vast majority of us, search for lasting love, happiness, peace of mind, joy, beauty, truth, enlightenment, to go further on our path. But here in the Western civilization, we're taught from the earliest points when we're babies. Through our education, we're taught that what we want to do is you want to stay in school and get good grades and get a good education. You you want to get a job after you get a good education, that you can go out there and it matches your education and it's something along the path that you've been working towards. So you want to find a job. So with the education, getting a job and making money. That's what it comes down to in most cases here in Western civilization. We want to get an education so we can get a job, so we can make money, so we can buy things. Those of us on a spiritual path realize that things don't bring us happiness. Happiness, once again, comes from within. Love comes from within. We've got to learn this from ourselves. We're taught, get a good education, get a good job, and make money, and you're going to be happy. And the vast majority of us follow that path. And then we realize, get a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth, and we realize that happiness has eluded us. Our daily lives, every day, is filled with stress, with anxiety, with frustration. And we come to this sad realization that we're not happy. We're not happy with our outside circumstances because we're not happy with our inside circumstances. And having money and an education doesn't satisfy our soul. And that, I believe, is what we're looking for. It's happiness in our soul. Looking to satisfy our soul, looking for joy, for peace, for lasting fulfillment. And we don't find it. And we're getting further along our path, and we're getting older, and we're getting a little bit more in sync with reality, and we realize this is not bringing us happiness. And at this point, a lot of people turn to religion. Not all religions are the same, and not all religious paths lead to the same destination. But there are certain aspects in all religions that are positive and that we can learn from. I think we all understand and learn from and work towards the word faith. We have faith. We have faith in the world. We have faith in ourselves. We have faith in our fellow man. We try to turn to religion, and we realize that religion has a lot of confinements into the dogma of religious sects and religious philosophies. And they're very strict and they're very exact, and you have to follow them in this exact way. And that works for many people. And they're happy and they can find a little bit more happiness in their life by searching for their religion and becoming more immersed in their religion. And in their way, believing that they're becoming closer and more connected to God. I think the ultimate reality there is becoming one with the reality of the universe. And if religious works for you, a religious path works for you, and it brings you happiness and it brings you peace, great, that's wonderful. I can only speak for myself, and I know that I was looking for even more. I was looking for deeper satisfaction, for enlightenment, for wisdom, for knowledge, for beauty, for truth. And I did. I studied religion. I studied religion in college. I studied religion for many years. And I looked at the pluses and the pros and the cons of many religions. And I found that each religion has some things that I can glean from it and take from it and learn from it and grow from it. And many of them have principles and ideas that don't mesh with my personal inner truth. So going beyond the step of searching for religion is I started searching for my own spirituality. I started searching for my own truth. What was going to fulfill me inside? Fulfill me with truth, with happiness, with beauty, with kindness, with compassion. And I realized that I believe in a higher power. Does it fit into any compartment of any formal religious beliefs? Well, it kind of lines up closer with one than the other, but there is none that it fits into as an exact package. There are things that I can take from it and glean from it and grow from it, and there are many things that just doesn't connect to my truth and my wisdom. So I go beyond and I go for this search of truth where I can connect to the higher source or the higher power, whatever that higher power is. Whether for you personally, that higher power may be God, maybe Jesus, maybe Buddha, it may be it could be all types of things. It may be angels, it may be the universe, it may be a combination of several of those. But I think in my spiritual path and where I go, I'm on a search for truth, for beauty, and for happiness. I know that I can start that by turning inside, internally, and connecting with the divine within me. And knowing that that source is there. And that source that created me, that created people, that created nature, that created animals, all of that. That higher power, that divine, is connected to me, inside of me. And I try to reach for that. And I try to get clarity there, because that's where I can find happiness. I can find truth. And I can find beauty. And when I can find that within me, starting with connecting with the divine in me, it opens up my mind and it allows me to connect to the beauty, to the truth, to the happiness outside of me. If we don't connect with it inside first, we can't find it outside of us. There's nothing outside of us that will bring us happiness, that will bring us love, that will bring us beauty, if we don't see it within us first. But if we do see it within us, it allows us to see the truth, the happiness, and the beauty outside of us. When we connect to that spirituality, to that inner beauty and that inner truth, and allows us to see it outside, we're able to look at the universe and at the world through new eyes. Eyes that now are open and accepting and allowing the truth to come to us because we see it inside of us, the beauty to come to us because we see it inside of us, the love to come to us because we feel it inside of us. And in my own personal belief, and religion is one of the strongest powers on the planet, and it always has been. But it's always also been very divisive. I mean, just about every war that has been fought since the history of time has been started or advanced over religious belief. Religion seems to separate us. You know, it puts us all in different groups, in different categories, and points out the differences that we have, the differences that Protestants have with Catholics, the difference that Jews have with Gentiles, the difference that Muslims have with, it's always a difference, and it's always focusing on the difference, and while the one that you believe in or the one that they believe in is the only one or the one that has the edge on the truth. Personally, I don't, with my own personal truth, like to see things so divided, so fragmented, so broken up. And I believe that on a path of spirituality, and the difference between spirituality and religion is religion has all these different areas, these different sects, and only this one is right, and if you don't belong to this one, you're either right or you're wrong. On a spiritual path, we try to get beyond coming from a place of right and wrong. We try to get beyond coming from a place of black and white. On a spiritual path is all-inclusive. It doesn't matter. If you're connected to your inner guidance system, your higher power, and it's bringing you truth and beauty and happiness, that's great. How you do it and how you get there is a personal journey. It's a personal trip. I do it. I do it through meditation. I do it through talking to the angels in the universe and God. I do it through tapping into my own personal mental powers and powers of my mind. I do it by sitting down and stilling my mind and allowing myself to listen and to hear. And I don't try to preach anything. I don't believe in preaching. Because what works for me might not be the same thing that works for you or works for anybody else. And just because somebody's on a different path, that doesn't mean that they're going in the wrong direction. It just means that they're on a path that's right for them. Also, I'll tell you, the greatest job I've ever had is being a dad and being a father. And I try to pass on, I have 3 teenage boys. And I try to pass on to them my philosophies and my outlook on life. And I don't do it by preaching to them, and I don't do it by sitting down and lecturing them. I try to lead by example. I hope that they see that, and I hope not just my boys, but anybody that I touch, anybody that I come into contact with, sees that. I lead by example. And I seek love and compassion and truth and beauty. And this is, I believe, what life is about. It's on a quest to search for the truth and the beauty and and the wisdom that's out there, and to experience life in all its glory, in all its amazement, and to take it with us. And if we use that definition, we realize that the inner higher power, the inner connection that we have, the God, if you want to use that word, is spirit. And it's always with us. And it's always around. And we worship that spirit in how we do things, in truth, and in all of that. And the higher power has a connection to so much more because we're all connected. We're all one. And yes, I believe there are angels that watch out over us all the time. I personally believe that I have that watch over me. A guardian angel, an archangel, and a minion of angels that watch over me. I also talk to them. And when you deal with angels, you need to invite them into your life. And I do that, and I invite them into my life on my search and on my journey and on my quest to find my personal truth, my personal beauty, my personal happiness, and for what it's worth. It's my opinion on what life is about. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you were able to learn something from it. Please, after you watch this, come to our website and explore and share and subscribe. And feel free to blog or to contact us. Our website is listed right at the bottom. It's www.amazinguniversetv.com. And feel free to become part of our community, an active part of our community. We welcome you with open arms. Until next week, have a great weekend. Keep smiling.